What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 6 of Drafting to Masters. In our last episode, we tried a crazy 4-color dino deck, and in case you missed it, I've included this season's playlist in the top right corner of this video. One strategy I haven't really explored yet in this new format is Yetis, and I think it's probably one of the strongest strategies you can be doing. Yeti Windflyer is such a strong card, and there are other good Yeti payoffs like Slush Dumper and the Punter. So I'm hoping I can explore that strategy in this draft coming up because I would like to start my climb through Diamond. Also, if you guys are interested in one-on-one personalized coaching, I've included my contact information on the screen now so that you can reach out to me to figure out what my rates are so that we can help you work your way towards Masters Draft. But I'm excited to get into this next draft and get the bad taste out of my mouth from some of our previous ones, and hopefully we find success this time. So without further ado, let's get into another draft. Wow. I don't think there's any way you can pass up Surso. The only way they're beating this card is if they have removal. This really pushes us into a Legion, but I think it's well worth taking. Nothing else really compares to this in power level. But we do see some good Yetis coming through, so maybe we can do like an Elysian Yetis deck, even though that's a little odd since you generally want to be Skycrag if you're doing Yetis. So we see more Yetis coming through. Not much else here beyond that. Trusty Revolver is decent in a Renown deck, but we're not really there. So I'm just going to take the Yeti Snowslinger for a good early drop that doesn't necessarily rely on the Yeti synergies to be meaningful. So we could take another Yeti Snowslinger. There's Shogun Scepter and Oni Quartermaster coming through, which makes me think, is it possible that Fire is open as well? But I think I'm just going to take another Yeti Snowslinger, see if we continue to see these good fire cards, and if that tells us to ditch the Surso and just go into Skycrag potentially. So now Runecrawler Yeti comes through, is another Yeti, and there are some attachments you want to kill. Predator's Instinct is fantastic with Surso. It's just like an unconditional removal spell at that point. I feel like I'm not willing to ditch Surso yet because the power level is so high. So I'm going to take the Predator's Instinct here. That might be wrong, but I just am too attached to Surso at this point to really ditch it. Feather is a very reasonable splash. Otherwise, you have a bunch of dinos here between Bellowing Thunderfoot and Baying Sarasaur. Time Worn Sentinel is also reasonable, but I think I'm going to take the Elder's Feather and see if we can't splash this. I think the power level of this is above everything else. Flying is a very strong keyword and just really makes a difference in winning games. So I'm going to take the Elder's Feather here. Hail Shrieker is another Yeti for us. You could take Fasora. Could also take Dispel for some interaction. And I kind of like that more than both Fasora and Hail Shrieker. Hail Shrieker's text isn't really relevant without Tribute being a real thing anymore. And we don't have enough Yetis right now that we really need to pick Yeti Shaman for the synergies. So I'm just going to take Dispel here. This time we'll take Levitate. That can help get our Yeti Snowslinger in. Here we'll take the Elysian Banner for fixing. We'll take the Combray Banner for fixing. Helps us splash the Elder's Feather here. We'll take Scaly Gruon as just a way to hold the ground early. We'll take Fasora this time. And Stalwart Shield is even a reasonable splash. Couple of nice choices here. Golem Press is pretty decent. You also have Locust, which is nice. I think those are mainly the options you should be looking at. I'm probably just going to take Locust because a 2/2 flyer for 2 is pretty strong. So yeah, let's take Locust rather than branching into green even further. I think this will serve us well. You know, if Yeti Windflyer is a good card, then Locust is an even better card, basically. Okay, yes, nice. Courier Albatross is fantastic. Definitely going to pick this up here. Love the amplify ability on this card. Just a really good 6-drop to have. And if you get to even higher levels of power, it can be really crazy in the late game. Not a lot in this pack for us. We could take Scorpion to hold the ground early. We could take Token of Instinct for some fixing. And I think I'm more interested in the fixing than I am in Scorpion at this point. But maybe I should just take Scorpion here. This fixing isn't like key for us at the moment. So yeah, let's just take Scorpion. Power Breach Sentinel is nice. You also have Acantha's Outrider, but I'm just going to take Power Breach Sentinel. Since we don't have any relics at this point, it doesn't really make sense to take Acantha's Outrider. Interesting, we're seeing a lot of shadow cards come through, so a little concerned that we won't be able to fill out our primal, but we'll see what continues to come our way. Court Mage is a fine pledge card. We'll hold the ground so we can win in the air slowly with cards like Locust and Courier Albatross, so I'll take Court Mage here over the Token of Instinct. Coastal Huntsman is decent, gets better with removal and things like that, so I'll take it here. Don't know if we'll play it, but I think it's worth considering. Mischief Yeti is a Yeti, which is important for what could potentially come in pack 4 with like Yeti Windflyer. Our other option would be Be Gone, which does help us fix for Elder's Feather and Stalwart Shield, and helps get rid of problematic weapons on units. So I kind of like taking Be Gone here for some more interaction rather than the Mischief Yeti. So we get the Mischief Yeti anyway. We could also take Token of Vision for more fixing. For Justice, I think I kind of like that more than the Mischief Yeti. Otherwise, these other tokens are just fixing for the Elysian side, so we'll take the Token of Vision here. Another Scorpion, I guess that's fine, but I don't think we'll play 2. More fixing for us, we'll take that. A third Scorpion, and more fixing. So here I think we should probably just take Porcelain Mask. No, we don't have super aggressively statted units, but everything else is pretty underwhelming for us, and this is some interaction that we might like. I don't think we really want a second Coastal Huntsman right now, so that's why I'm leaning towards Porcelain Mask. Maybe there could be an argument for Fledgling Aviasaur, but card is pretty dang weak, so I don't love it. Does work pretty well with Stalwart Shield, but I'm just going to take the Porcelain Mask. Holy cow. Skycrag Scalebreaker is a straight bomb. Just making a 5/5 flyer for you is incredible. If this guy gets eliminated before you get to play the Skycrag Goad, then you can put it on something else like Fasora or any of our big bodies and just huge threat. So Scalebreaker is fantastic here. If this wasn't here, I'd be taking Infused Guardian. Glacier Shaper is really nice. We'll take that over the Acantha's Outrider. I think here we could probably take Bannerman. Could potentially take Sirocco Glider as well. Even Star Vorlunk is potentially reasonable as a 9-drop, but I don't love this card. And I don't think I'm really interested in taking the Display of Instinct. I guess we do have a couple of fire sources already, so it could be an option, but I think I'm just going to take Bannerman for some better fixing here. Pitfall Trap is still a great relic. I really like this card. There are still relevant 1 toughness units you can ping out, and being able to cycle through your deck when you're playing units in the late game is a nice option. Here we can either take Token of Honor for more fixing, or we could take Sirocco Glider. I don't think we're desperate for a body like Sirocco Glider. We do have a couple of relics though now that make this card better. So I think I will take the Sirocco Glider. I think it has potential to close out games. We'll take a second Power Breed Sentinel here. It's really nice. Just a strong body and difficult to deal with. Do we want a second Sirocco Glider? I don't think so. We're pretty good on units at this point, so we might as well just take the token of knowledge here for fixing. Don't think we'll splash for Mighty Strike, so we could take another Court Mage here. Okay, we'll take another token. Another token. And Unearth the Past. I don't think we can splash for the Death Strike. Family Charter is a decent relic, but I think I'm just in the market for this Ice Bow. It's got some good synergies in our deck with the Scorpions, the Glacier Shaper, so I think I like that here more than anything else. Twin Brood Sauropod is fantastic. It's just a nice big body for late in the game, so I think we'll take that. Order of the Spire's pretty good too, but since Justice is our splash, I think Twin Brood's Sauropod is strong enough to just take it here. Not a lot here for us. I don't think we'd play a second Fesaura. Only have a couple of Sentinels, so Serene Excavator isn't fantastic, but I think it's fine enough. I think we'll take it here. Desert Marshal is a pretty unique effect, and I think it's worth splashing for this card. So I'm going to take it here over a second Predator's Instinct or Ice Bow. I think we can take a second Ice Bow here over the Predator's Instinct. I think Ice Bow just has a little bit more synergy for our deck than Predator's Instinct does. Sandbinder Sentinel's just a solid unit. You also have Family Charter, which is nice, but we only have one card that cares about relics, so I'm not super concerned about that. I'd rather just have a way to deal with my opponent's flyers, so we'll take the Sandbinder Sentinel here. I think we could potentially play Secret Pages in this deck. I don't really see us needing Scaly Gruon or Snowfort, and I don't think I'm splashing for Mithril Mace, just the double Justice turns me off from that, so I'll take the Secret Pages here, but probably not play it. Another Dispel, I like that quite a bit. Okay, Nesting Aviasaur is nice. Always good to have flyers, so we'll take that here. Don't think we'll play any of these cards. Don't think we'll play a second Stalwart Shield, but we'll take it. And Warren Shield. Alright, so first things first, we just need to remove all of our fixing. And we have a ton of units, so we definitely need to make cuts there. I think a couple of these Scorpions can go. I think Scaly Gruon can probably go, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops. I'm not really counting Desert Marshal since we're likely not trying to curve Desert Marshal out. Our 3-drop slot looks pretty good. Could probably cut Serene Excavator. I think that's reasonable. Our 4-drops, I think we can cut 1 Court Mage, maybe even 2. I like all our 5s and our 6s. So now, looking at our attachments, I really like all these. I don't think I want to get rid of any of them. Porcelain Mask is maybe the only one I really want to get rid of. But it is some interaction, so I'd like to keep it. So I take the Secret Pages out, and then we probably need 2 more cuts. So yeah, let's take out Porcelain Mask. We don't have huge payoffs for the relics. And then 1 more cut, and I think we're good. And I think Levitate's a reasonable cut. It's either Levitate or Dispel for me. I don't really want to cut the Stalwart Shield. So I think between Levitate and Dispel, Dispel handles our problems better than Levitate does with flyers. So having Dispel, both these cards cycle. Dispel actually takes care of the problem where Levitate just handles it for a turn. You're likely using this in a way that you're getting rid of the problem, but still I rather have Dispel, I think. So let's get the power added to the deck. Probably don't need 2 Justice, probably just need 1. And we could probably use another time, just guessing. So we could actually probably go down a time and up a primal because this gives us 12 time sources, 11 primal sources, and 7 justice sources. So this is a really nice power base. We have a lot of fixing, and Bannerman helps us as well. Be Gone helps to add to the justice count too. So I think this is our deck. Just want to close out this drafting and deck building portion of the episode by saying thank you for enjoying my content and learning along the way with me. I'm actually pretty excited about this deck, and what'll happen next is we'll go into the games portion of the episode where I'll first talk about the deck, how I think it'll do, and then we'll actually play some games to see if our predictions come true. So I hope to see you in the next video.